assigning class activities and automating wait lists, and maybe a couple extra things too. Our agenda is to talk about some of our new features and an old one as well. So the first one we'll be talking about is how to disable and re-enable class activities. We also have a newer feature that allows an instructor to assign class activities to specific users. And another newer feature allows you to have students automatically enrolled who are at a wait list or requested status. So let us see how all of this works. So first we want to look at how to disable and then re-enable class activities. And the first two couple of things we're going to look at are class management features that we've added recently. One is disabling class activities, the other is assigning class activities. We wanted to add some features giving instructors the ability to control when students have access to work on activities, and also to determine who has access to specific activities. And these two features can be used together or separately. So to disable and re-enable class activities, these are things that anybody in the operations manager or instructor role can do once it's been enabled for them. And the place that it's enabled is on the course profile. So you'll go in, and if you have access to edit a course, you'll see the edit button here. If the course is owned by another organization or content vendor, then you won't have any rights to make changes to that course. So we'll edit, and on the basic information tab, way down at the bottom, we have two checkboxes that control our disable activities feature. The first one is allow activity disablement within classes. So if that's checked, then your instructor or your ops manager will have the ability to enable or disable activities. And the second one goes with it, which is to allow activities to be auto-enabled after class ends. And that's in place to, in case your instructor at the end of class has left some activities disabled, having this checked would automatically re-enable all the activities in class once the class end time is reached. So that way your students with post-class access would still have would still be able to use all the activities that were in the class. Obviously, if you wanted to keep some activities disabled for post-class lab access, then you would not check this box. So let's go back and see how this works. And blink and blink. So as an instructor, I'm going to take a look at my class, which is based on that course. And I have the ability, when I come down to the activities section, I can see this disable all activities checkbox. And I also, on each activity, have an enable and checkbox as well. So if I click on disable all activities, all of the enabled boxes are unchecked. I can toggle that back to enable all activities, and I can uncheck or check a box as I wish. So this would give me control of, let's say, being able to demonstrate some things and not have my students in the labs at the same time. If I enable these, they're going to become enabled for the student, usually within about 30 seconds or so of when it gets checked. So it'll automatically do that for your student without them having to refresh their screen. So that's our enable and disable. Let's take a look at assigning activities. And assigning activities allows you to choose which student has which activity. So if I'm back in my course again, and this again is set up on the course, and it's only available for instructor-led classes. So I have to have this checked for available instructor-led. And then when I go to the activities section, it has to be available to everyone. The other option, the other option is instructors only. And you can see that those disappear when I have instructors only. And that's because the instructor always has access to all the activities, whether they're assigned or not. So at the bottom, I have 2 activities that are assessments. And in this case, I want to only assign half the class assessment 1, and I want to assign the other half of the class assessment 2, so that they can be taking a comparable test to each other, but not everybody gets the same test. So once I've checked that assign to students manually, and I save my course, we'll see it update in our class. So let me refresh the screen. And when I come down here, these guys don't have the assign activity turned on, but the 2 assessments do. And you can see I still have the ability to enable and disable activities, but I also here have this view activity access. I'm gonna spread this out a little bit. And when I go to that, it opens a new little screen for me, and it shows me that there's no students assigned to this activity. So if I am a student, let me refresh my page, I will not see any assessments. By the way, all of the activities are turned on by default or not assignable by default, and it's only when you come in to the course and make that change that the activities would be assignable and therefore not seen by the students until they're assigned. I click on that edit, add students, and I get this add students button at the bottom. And I'm going to choose the first 4 students to have assessment 1. It shows me who I have. I can come in and remove or add students again and save. Drops me back in the class page again. And I'm going to go to assessment 2. And again, there's no students here. I can edit class access. And I'm going to add the other students. And you can see right now that my chooser for the students is filtered to only show and not be able to remove students for this class, and only to see the enrolled students because they're actually the ones who are going to have access to labs. And I'll assign the other students to this. And click OK. So my Jane student was assigned assessment number 1. And I should have that automatically showing up now. And I had another student who is Jiminy, and he was assigned assessment number 2. And now that shows up for him as well, and he cannot see assessment 1. So, and as I said, you can choose to disable these so that the students can't start the test before you want them to, and that'll update automatically in a few moments. There we go. So that is activity assignment and using it together with disablement as well. The last piece we're going to look at is using a wait list to automatically enroll students. So the wait list, oops, I don't want you, I want you. When you use you can automate waitlisted students or requested students to be automatically enrolled when your class is at capacity. So This only happens when a student self-cancels their own enrollment. Then a waitlisted student would automatically be changed to enrolled. And if there are multiple waitlisted students, then it will assign the enrollment based on which registration was created first. If there aren't any waitlisted students, then it will look for students at a requested status to enroll them. If this is in place, it's in place for all the classes in your organization. So why might I want to use this feature? Because you want a class to remain full and not have to check and update the class, any of your classes all the time. If you do turn this on, I would recommend that you also use automated notifications. And with that, you can have a notification come to you or your staff when a student has canceled their own enrollment. It can also send a cancellation confirmation to your student. You can set that to be either you can set up a late cancellation window for your organization if you charge people for canceling late. And you could have different notifications go out for the cancellation if it's within that late cancel window or outside of that late cancel window, and encourage people to go back and enroll or contact someone to enroll into another class. You can have enrollment confirmations sent, and you can also have a waitlist or requested enrollments have a confirmation with different information. For instance, you'll be enrolled if a student cancels. Any of those or different notifications can be sent to your staff to keep them informed of any updates as well. So to set this up, you're going to go to your organization profile, and you're going to edit and go to the Preferences tab. On the Preferences tab, we're going to scroll down to the Class Settings. And under Class Settings, you want to check the Allow Waitlist Auto Enroll for Classes. Once that's turned on, again, it's for your entire organization and will apply to any classes. So let's go and take a look at one of our classes that has auto enrollment set up for waitlisted students. You can see right now I have 4 of 4 enrollments in place, and my class, if I edit it, you'll see that my maximum capacity is set to 4. So I'm keeping it low number so it's easy to see, but if your maximum capacity is met and the class is full, then this will trigger if a student cancels themselves. So let's go and look at Jane's student, and she will go back to her enrollments, and she has this class auto enroll waitlist students on her agenda. And she, up until the time the class starts, students have the ability to cancel their own enrollments. So she can cancel here. And let's take a look over here at my my roster. I'm going to remove the room, but let's see who was created and when. So my first 4 students are enrolled. Kim is requested, so all of these other, to automatically be enrolled, all of the waitlisted students would have to be enrolled first. And out of our waitlisted students, Kirk is the first one, or the earliest created enrollment. So we should see Kirk change over from waitlisted to enrolled when Jane cancels her enrollment. So as student Jane, I'm going to cancel my enrollment. I get a confirmation message and I say okay. And Kirk, when I refresh, Kirk is enrolled. So any student who is waitlisted and a student cancels their own enrollment will automatically be enrolled. Now, if I have, as an administrator, and I'm acting as an operations manager here, if I come in and I cancel a student, no one is going to be automatically enrolled for that person. It only happens when a student cancels themselves. So if I come in here and I have canceled, I can see all students now. If I canceled a student, no one new was made, promoted to being enrolled. I have 3 enrollments rather than 4. So I could then choose to enroll anybody that I wished. Yes, I want to, oops. It would help if I actually checked the box to save anyway and continue. So that is how the automatic enrollment for waitlisted students behaves. And that is all that I was going to show you today.